You're tuning in to two former NFL scouts, Vitale and Kelly, covering the NFL and college football like nobody else. Vitale, a four-time Super Bowl winner, who worked for 6 NFL teams and held executive roles with 3 of them, the Patriots, Falcons, and Cowboys. And Kelly, a former pro scout with the New York Jets and current scouting director at FirstRoundMock.com. You've listened to the rest. Now it's time to hear from these two.
Hello, Lionel. How are you doing today?
Excellent, Dan the man. What about you?
Well, hey, I'm doing great. Football is back. I mean, it seems like we have to wait these extra long off seasons with all the media hype and everything, and all of a sudden it's back now. It always goes too fast, but I'm just excited it's back. How about you?
Man, I've watched football, college football on Saturdays, professional football on Sundays and Mondays. It's been great, man. I'm loving life again.
Yeah, absolutely. And NFL week number 1 is just about in the books, of course. We have one more game to go here, the big game Monday night with the New York Jets, Jets, Jets against the San Francisco 49ers. But so far, Lionel, some surprises, some disappointments. Of course, that's what happens when we have expectations as human beings, and always a lot going on. And I'll kick this thing off starting last Friday in Brazil, of all places, the only NFL game played in history in Brazil, the first one, in what many people called a bad-looking field, a bad playing surface. Packers lost the game 34-29, but they lost more than that. The quarterback, their star quarterback who just signed the monster extension, Jordan Love, suffers an MCL sprain at the end of the game, out 3 to 6 weeks. Now, Lionel, you're a guy who's been in team management with different organizations. I mean, you've walked the sidelines, you've seen fields, you've heard how people talk and before games. I mean, what did you think? I mean, through your lens, I mean, how did you see that playing surface in Brazil?
Hey, Danny, whenever there's an issue with the surface, you got to put it on the NFL. The feel and the gear that you put on or your footing must coordinate, okay? They must do the test, have their people go out and test it, get some young athletes run around with the right gear, with the right cleats, the right make sure it matches the turf. Okay, so anything that goes on in a situation like that, it falls on the NFL.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, do you think that the injury to Jordan Love had anything at all to do with that playing surface in Brazil?
No, I don't think so. When they looked at the injury, he was sort of standing in a position. He was kind of vertical, up and down, straight-legged, and the defensive lineman kind of bumped the side of his Jalen Carter bumped the side of his knee, and now he has a ACL strain. So MCL, what was it?
MCL,
MCL strain, and it's one of those things that happen. You're standing up in the pocket, guys are going low and kind of stumbling. Guy stumbles into your side of your leg, anything can happen. That's football. So no, I don't blame that on the turf. He was standing there still.
Interesting. And now one of my guys, my QB1 from the 2022 NFL Draft, the recently traded for, Malik Willis, takes over there with the Green Bay Packers. Lionel, now you've taken a look at the Packers' next 6 games. We're looking at the Colts, at Titans, Minnesota, at Rams, Cardinals, and Texans. How do you see the Packers with Malik Willis? Let's say worst case scenario. Let's say Love is out the 6 games. How those stretch of 6 games? How do you think they'll do?
Man, if Malik Willis is a backup quarterback who has not played much in the league, if you could get 2 wins out of 6 games, if you go 3-3, you've hit the lottery. But you're hoping you can get at least 2 wins out of 6 if Malik Willis is your starting quarterback, because he's never played, Dan. He's never played. So, you got to go through your growing pain and all that. So I understand the Green Bay faithful, the Green Bay fans are all in uproar with their quarterback being out. They're giving Carter the the business saying that, hey, you're being a cheap shot, the kid that bumped into the side of his leg. No, it was a football thing. It was a football play. It's unfortunate, but no. Uh, but I see them coming out of that with 2 to 3 wins with
Uh,
Malik
I'm
Willis.
I'm gonna go on a limb. I'm gonna say four or six for them. And maybe just maybe the Packers have struck quarterback gold again.
Well, you never count the Packers out when it comes to quarterbacks.
Absolutely not. That's for sure. And of course, a huge disappointment, maybe the biggest disappointment of this first week of the season, the Cincinnati Bengals losing 16-10 to the Patriots. No disrespect intended to the Patriots, but no one was really expecting to be this good. I mean, it's a huge surprise. Their fans are excited. Now, you said you saw some of that game, right?
I did. Boy, Cincinnati looked flat. I mean,
Yeah.
Joe Burrow, man, he could not
At
get
home,
any. Yeah, at home in Cincinnati,
the
Joe
jungle.
Burrow. Yeah, Joe Burrow could not get anything going. That team seemed flat. Well, I think Higgins is out with a hamstring, and Chase was coming back off of his off-field stuff with the contract and
Yeah, his
other
mind is somewhere else.
minds all over the place. So the receivers were not up to par, but it showed on the field, man. That was a sluggish looking Cincinnati Bengals football team.
Wow, and I think that was our number one destination. We said Bill Belichick could end up, and maybe.
Well, yeah,
Hey, maybe
yeah,
it's time to start the Belichick watch in Cincinnati.
absolutely. Yeah.
Would you be concerned if you're the Bengals right now?
Man, you don't show up against New England Patriots with with what's it the quarterback
Brissett, yeah.
Brissett and a rookie, and no experience back there, true experience, no true winner with that roster, and say, okay, they're going to fly into Cincinnati and lose a game when you're supposed to just take care of business at home. No, you got to be disappointed if you're Cincinnati. That's a bad loss.
Yeah, really
Yeah,
bad. It earned them a grade of an F from CBS Sports, so we're all singing from the same hymn book on that one.
yeah,
Big surprise. Dak Prescott, first of all, got the huge extension. I mean, Jerry Jones waited to the last second and said, "That's it. This is my guy. Pay him. Give him his bag.
yeah.
That's it. 4 years, $240 million. Congratulations, Dak, on getting the money." And Dallas responded with showing them some love, crushing the Cleveland Browns 33-17. But Lionel, isn't this just typical of Dallas? I mean, hot starts. I mean, isn't this their calling card? Isn't this who they are? I mean, we can't jump ahead to talking about the Super Bowl in Dallas, can we?
Well, no, not after one game, Dan. I mean, you have to wait. I always said you won't know what you have until week 5 or 6. Then you really know because now you have a sample size. But one game, no, I don't get excited. Win or loss, one game. It's just not enough. Not enough to gauge. Not enough to see what your habits are, good or bad. It's just one game.
Well, my wife Samantha's happy. She's a
I
Cowboys
bet she
fan,
is.
so this household's happy tonight.
Yeah, yeah. The Cowboy fans are happy.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
they
yeah.
are.
Absolutely. And of course, the Browns, just like the Bengals, look really flat. Based on what you were telling me before. I mean, now, granted, Deshaun Watson's some bad news. His dad passed away a couple days back. But how did Watson respond? Do you think compared to like what you saw him last year?
He looked better than last year, but
Really?
yeah, but he didn't have any support around him. I mean, that offense was very anemic. It was just nothing else. It was Deshaun Watson, and no one else showed up. The offensive line, typically they're a good blocking offensive line. They were average. Now, the Dallas defense had a lot to do with that. Dallas's defense was all over the place. I mean, they're like it was crazy. But they got dominated by Dallas. It was ugly. Cincinnati couldn't. Sorry, Cleveland couldn't put that out there, Dan. It's they can't play like that again this year.
That's okay. We won't hold that against you. Bad football, Cleveland, Cincinnati. They both start with C. We'll move on. Should the Browns be concerned?
Yeah, yeah, they've got to really get some help on offense for Deshaun. I mean, you can't win like that. It was the defense even gave up after a couple series. They saw the offense and said, "Well, geez, we're not going to have help. We can't contain Dallas," and it got ugly. It got really ugly.
Interesting. Well, the Minnesota Vikings to land of 10,000 frozen lakes. My pick for the surprise team in the NFC prior to the season comes out and beats the New York Football Giants, the G-Men,
The G-Man.
28-6. That's right. And Sam Darnold. That's right. Sam Darnold. Extra. Read all about 19 out of 24, 208 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. What were your thoughts about this game as you sat there and watched it?
Well, first of all, Sam Donald didn't look like Sam Donald today. He looked like the old Sam Donald from USC. He played
Mm.
good football, and they put a good game together. They looked good defensively, Minnesota did. Then on the offense, Sam made the throws he had to make. They ran the ball. They did whatever they had to do to win that game. It was impressive by Minnesota. I was really, really impressed.
Are the Giants in trouble, not just from a team standpoint, but from an organization standpoint?
That was bad football by New York Giants. That first series, they looked good on defense. And then from that point on, it was bad football. I mean,
Mm.
no playmakers on offense, zero. The quarterback looked bad. Uh, Nobody really stood out on the perimeter, the receivers, no run game. It was a very mundane offense. It was just pathetic. And then defensively, you could only do so much. And they got worn down. Just got worn down.
Maybe it's time for the Giants fans to order their Carson Beck jerseys ahead of time.
They need to order some jerseys. They need some help. Right now, that's one of the worst situations in the NFL, the New York Giants.
Interesting. And that's right. The Bears, they win 24-17 against the Titans because of their special teams of defense. And my guy, the guy that I said, let me say it real loud for everybody here, the guy I said was going to be a bust. Caleb Williams, 14 out of 29, 48.2% completion percentage, 93 yards. And wow, the thing that stuck out most to me about Caleb, I know you're a Caleb Williams guy, but to me, Lionel, the rhythm he leads this offense with is herky-jerky. It's like a drummer with no sense of timing. And the results showed. I mean, it's just, he was sporadic. What did you think of that game?
Well, I saw a rookie quarterback. I mean, I've never seen a rookie. Rookies just don't do it, man. They just take their time. They progress as the season goes. If you rate a rookie on one game, I think it's a little premature. Now, I saw at least 5 or 6 balls that were just dropped. Okay, so you put that in there. Okay, but Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback, but they won the football game. They played good on defense, really good on defense. They played good on special teams. And Caleb did a couple things that said, okay, all right. But he's a rookie, Danny. It's a rookie.
How long am I going to have to hear that? How long am I going to have to hear that?
Let me say this. Let me just say this. Go look at old flick on Peyton Manning.
Oh, here we go.
And watch his rookie year.
Here
Watch
we go.
Peyton Manning. Watch Peyton Manning's. And watch Terry Bradshaw's. Those guys were bad rookies.
Yeah.
Okay?
Well,
Bad rookies. Those are Hall of Famers. So, I don't judge a guy after one game.
but Neil Armstrong went to the moon. That doesn't mean I'm going to. No, I'm just kidding. We won't go there. Now Will Levis, now he's not a rookie. This guy looks bad with a capital B. I had a 7th-round pick on him pre-draft. The Titans took him high in the 2nd round, and he looked like a fish out of water. He looked quirky. And I watched him on the sideline, his body language, you're trying to yell in motivation. Those throws, it looked like he was skipping rocks out there, Lionel. I mean, what is Will Levis doing besides putting mayonnaise in his coffee?
I hate to pick on Will Levis. This is his 2nd year.
I will.
And really his first full year starting. Hopefully, he did make some mistakes. That one errant toss where he tossed the ball out there thinking that he could get it to one of his players, and the Bears picked it off, ran back for a pick 6. That was careless. But yeah, Will Levis, he's got a way to go. He's got a long way to go.
He really does. We got about a minute left here. Really quickly, want to touch on the Bears' old quarterback, Justin Fields, my 2021 NFL Draft QB1. Now starting with the Pittsburgh Steelers. They won. They beat the Falcons 18-10. Fields 17 out of 23. 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, at 57 yards on the ground. I'm going to say this. I mean, Justin Fields, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers can win with him. I can't see them putting him on the bench even when Russell Wilson's healthy. What do you think?
No, when Russ gets back, you got to get him back in there.
Even if they're winning.
Well, you're going to go with the hot hand, but I think Mike Tomlin wants to go with Russell Wilson. This is why, Dan. When you get closer to the playoffs, that's when the games really count. And I don't see anything about Fields that would make me want to put him in there against a playoff team.
Playoffs.
He's not. Playoffs. Justin Fields he doesn't pull the trigger. He's an inconsistent passer. He's mainly a runner. Yeah, there's a role for a guy like that. But play in and play out, no. I would want to go with a veteran like Russell Wilson. Let Russell Wilson show us that he can't play, okay? But I would say Mike Tomlin's going to wait on Russell Wilson. He's the proven pro.
One word. What did you see out of the Atlanta Falcons? Give it to me in one word. Summarize it.
Inconsistent.
There you go. Please like and share the show. Good stuff as always, Lionel. Tell your friends at the office about us and join us tomorrow as we talk about college football and our thoughts on some of the big games this past weekend and the teams that everyone's talking about. Thank you, Lionel. Thank you for everybody watching and listening.
All right.
Thank you for joining us for the latest episode of two former NFL scouts, Vitale and Kelly. No nonsense, uncensored, hard-hitting football analysis. Weekdays